Let's go to Capitol Hill this morning, where a meeting and a vote are not happening today. The vote is supposed to advance the nomination of the president's pick to be Attorney General, Todd Blanche. But two Senate Republicans, John Cornyn and Thom Tillis, are not on board, at least not yet. They want written assurances over a deal the DOJ cut with the IRS, as well as proof the so-called anti-weaponization fund is dead.
I don't know whether it's the staff of the DOJ or who it is, but they simply, they know what they need to do, but they simply refuse to do it. We've had two meetings scheduled that have now been canceled because they have not been responsive in providing those written documents. Maybe they think I'm just going to give up or, go along, but they're mistaken.
CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns joins us now from Capitol Hill. So, Caitlin, what's been the reaction so far, both to the vote being delayed, and what is Senator Cornyn saying about why he's opposed?
Yeah, Vlad, good morning. So there's the policy and the politics here. Let's unpack the policy first and why Cornyn is opposed at this point. Remember that settlement that the Justice Department reached with President Trump over the unsanctioned release of his tax returns? Well, there were two things that came out of that settlement. One, that so-called anti-weaponization fund to the tune of nearly $2 billion. That was something that was derided by both Republicans and Democrats. They want specific language, making sure that's not happening, even though Todd Blanche has said that was dead. But the real issue here that's holding Cornyn up specifically is over a second part of that settlement, which had a provision essentially shielding Trump and his family from future IRS audits. And that is really the crux of this problem here. And that's something that Cornyn brought up in the hearing with Acting Attorney General Blanche, and something that he wants confirmed in writing. That has not happened to his liking yet. And so now this committee vote, which was supposed to happen as we speak, is now being postponed indefinitely. That brings me to the politics here. It's notable that it's John Cornyn and Thom Tillis. Thom Tillis of North Carolina has long said he's not running for re-election, so he has been all year pretty much unleashed to say and do whatever he wants because he's not facing any political retribution at the polls this fall. Cornyn has now just joined Tillis in that dynamic. They're part of what we're calling up here the YOLO caucus. John Cornyn just lost a primary a couple of months ago to a Trump-backed challenger. So he feels no political pressure here to go along with the president and confirm his picks. And he's trying to exert some kind of leverage here. And he wants something firm in writing, or says he's not going to support Todd Blanche. Here's the thing. Without Cornyn's support, Todd Blanche's nomination goes nowhere. The committee would be deadlocked, and he has to make it out of the committee in order to make it onto the floor. John Cornyn, not running for re-election anymore, is standing in his way.
Caitlin, I burst out laughing when you really said the YOLO Congress. You only live once. I'm obsessed with that. I need to start living my life this way.
You would want more members of Congress to behave this way, in that they're not beholden to just one man and the man's whims, but that they vote either with their conscience. The question, of course, is Caitlin, I mean, John Cornyn did not receive Donald Trump's endorsement. Is this just, it's YOLO, but it's also like, hey, I'm a little salty about how I've been treated?
I mean, as a political reporter and an observer of this dynamic for a long time, that is certainly my takeaway. John Cornyn, of course, isn't describing it that way, understandably. But we have noticed this time and again. Those not running for re-election, or those who have lost primaries to Trump-backed challengers, immediately become a little more flexible in terms of what they're saying publicly versus privately. And that is certainly the case here. We've also seen this with Senator Cassidy of Louisiana and others feeling a little more free to say how they're really feeling about this. But I should also note kind of where this comes next. They're not going to have a committee vote unless they have the vote. So that could be postponed indefinitely. And Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche could serve in that role indefinitely as well. So this is really about whether he can be confirmed permanently to the position that he has long wanted.
All right. Caitlin Huey-Burns reporting from the Hill. Caitlin, thank you.